12 already. How's your team doing? We'll get some advice that may help when Good Morning Arizona continues. Stay with us.
Beautiful fake.
Now they're ready for action across the land. The boys in the trenches, the fans in the stands. Sounds like thunder when they snap the ball. The bat blasts through a hole in the wall. Receivers.
Look at that side, bright and early, University of Phoenix Stadium, ready to go. Jeff Corricini ready to go. This is week 12. We're talking fantasy football. How you doing? We made it through Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
a couple of good games.
Those games were pretty good, weren't they?
Well, you know, hopefully we have some more today. The Cardinals play today?
Yeah, they play.
Okay.
We're going to talk about them. But first, you know, these are weeks 12 and week 13 are the last 2 weeks to qualify for the playoffs. So
crunch
we're going
time.
Yeah.
Real crunch
So most of the trade deadlines in fantasy leagues are over with. So we're going to talk about some players that you might be able to pick up on your waiver wire.
So you can't trade anymore, but you still can dabble, mess around with your own team.
Drop and add players who's available on the waiver wire. And a couple of guys. We're going to start off with Santana Moss, a wide receiver. Yeah, he's a wide receiver for the Washington Redskins. And he's actually a #1 wide receiver. He's had a tough year, but this is a guy that is available in about 50% of most fantasy leagues. So he's a guy that you may want to think about picking up if you need help at the wide receiver.
He's been laying low, having a tough year, but maybe bounce back a little bit.
Yeah, that's what we think. And right now it's kind of tough because there's not a lot of players available. Another player is Chris Baker, a tight end for the New York Jets. Now, he again, if you need a tight end, he's a player that you may want to consider. He went up this week against Dallas, didn't have a real good week, but again, tight ends are hit and miss because they don't catch a lot of passes. So.
And the Jets are miss this year.
Yeah, they are. And then another player is Colby Smith, who's actually a running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. And you well know that Larry Johnson got hurt, Priest Holmes retired. Well, Colby Smith is actually going to start this week. So this is a guy that if you need a starting running back, he may be available on a waiver wire as well.
Very good last-minute ideas. All right, we always talk about the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
Their defense this week is a great play. They're playing the 49ers, who are doing absolutely terrible. Alex Smith is no longer playing. Trent Dilfer isn't a real good play. But the Cardinal defense, we've talked about them, Brian, earlier in the season. They are playing lights-out ball. They play real good at home. And I think people are going to sit back and just watch them demolish the 49ers this week. So that's a good fantasy play.
Very, you know, and these last weeks coming up, we get one more week of trading and tinkering.
Yep.
Once the playoffs begin, week 14, you're done, right?
You're done. You're set. That's right.
Okay, these are crucial things we need to do. How about a little stocking stuffer giveaway? Should we do it?
This week we're giving away 2 fantasy football gift cards. If you email me, Jeff, at fantasyfootballstarters.com, the first 2 people will get a fantasy football gift card. It's got a $100 value, and they sell retail for $25, as well as we still have our promotion. Anybody that emails me that wants access to our website, fantasyfootballstarters.com, I'll give them free access to all of our premium tools for the rest of the season, which is a $15 value.
It's not too late.
Never too late.
How's your fantasy football team doing?
Doing good.
Oh, yeah?
Doing good,
right?
yeah. In a couple of leagues, I'm doing real well. So I'm playing for the playoffs these weeks, and that's why it's real important to pay attention to some of these players you can pick up and drop.
Very good, Jeff. Thanks for coming in, as always.
You bet.
I know a lot of people love playing that fantasy football, don't they?
You bet.
Okay, Jeff, thanks again. All right, when we come